everybody, welcome back to Josh Murray Reactions. We are going to be reacting to the Gaither Vocal Band with David Phelps singing He's Alive. Let's check it out. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm getting over a cold, so if I start hacking in the middle of this, I apologize, but we are going to get into David Phelps singing with the Gaither Vocal Band, He's Alive. This is a classic David Phelps song with the Gaither Vocal Band, one that I haven't seen in a little while, but I have seen before, so I'd love to react to it with you today. It is a great one. It's usually an Easter special, obviously singing about when Mary and Martha visit the tomb and Jesus is not there. They're coming back to tell the disciples that the tomb is empty. Jesus has risen from the grave. Great storytelling ability by David Phelps here through music that you're going to see, and I'm excited for you to experience this with me. So with that said, let's get into it. But before we do, I want to encourage you right now, hit the pause button, go into the description. You're going to find my Spreadshirt account, merch shop account link there, and I want you to go there and take a look. Well, we've got one of the items here is this sweet sweatshirt that we have. We've got all the Josh Murray Reaction swag there. Would love to have you take a look and purchase what you'd like to. Rep the Josh Murray Reactions team stuff. It's going to be great. It helps us out as a channel, as a family. We'd love to have you be a part of that. So hit the pause button, click that link, go find a t-shirt, sweatshirt, mugs, whatever would work for you. Even just a sticker, stick on the back of your car. Support our channel, we would appreciate that. Let's get into the reaction.
The gates and doors were barred, and all the windows fastened down. I spent the night in sleeplessness and rose
I hear
at
their
every
anticipation
sound.
already.
Half in hopeless sorrow, half in fear the day would find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. Then just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gate began to rattle, and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window, I looked down into the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. But there was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. And John stood there beside me as she told us where she'd been. She said, they've moved him in the night and none of us knows where. Oh, the stone's been rolled away and now his body isn't there. So we both ran to the garden, then John ran on ahead, and we found the stone, an empty tomb, just the way that Mary said. But the winding sheet they'd wrapped him in was just an empty shell. And how or where they'd taken him was more than I could tell.
So good at storytelling and music, man.
Oh, something strange had happened there, just what I did not know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him, and then I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I denied I knew his name. So even if he was alive, it could never be the same. Then suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. Then Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide, and I fell down on my knees and I just clung to him and cried. Oh, but then he raised me to my feet, and as I looked into his eyes, love was shining out from him like sunlight from the skies. guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet release. Oh, and every fear I'd ever had just melted into peace.
So good.
Do you believe that?
That's so good. Like, I don't even know where to start on what to say about that. David is obviously so good at what he does with his singing in this video, but it's extra special because of the message. It's the message of the gospel, and I love how they include in this when it talks about when he meets with Jesus, and Jesus meets him with his arms open wide to him, and the guilt and the confusion and the shame that he had been all feeling melted away. Gosh, what great word usage there. And folks, can I remind you that this is what it's all about. Knowing Christ and his love is what it's all about. And too often we get hung up on trying to fix ourselves before we come to God. We think, I'm too broken. Like, I had so many people, I'm like, hey, do you want to come to church with me on Sunday? I'd love to have you be part of our church family, you know, all of the different things. And they're like, listen, if I walked into a church, a lightning bolt would, whatever, like all the things that they say, like, and it's like, no, like, we're not to just fix all the problem in our life and then come to know who Christ is. It's like, that's what Christ is there for. That's what he did on the cross. He took care of that stuff, right? Like, we can be broken and still come to Christ and come into relationship with him to know who he is. I want to encourage you today, no matter where you're at, no matter what you've done, what you're currently doing, Christ's love is for you, and his grace and what he did on the cross is enough for you. It's enough for what you've done. It covers all of the sin of the world. And it's just up to us to accept that grace, that free gift of grace that has been given to us. So if you want to know more about what that even looks like, what that even means, please drop a comment. Please send me an email. I'd love to chat with you about what that looks like. But this song is just a perfect example of that. And that's why I love it so much, on top of David just being so good at what he does in this video. So David, props to you. It's interesting. I've never seen David, I don't want to say struggle, because he killed the notes there, but you listen to the recording, he holds that note a lot longer than what he does in this live one, and he gets pretty red in this thing. I mean, I understand these are high notes, but usually this isn't David like struggling to get into those notes. And I even saw the microphone shaking a little bit there. It's like something I haven't seen from David before. And so I always wonder when I watch this recording, like, was the guy sick? What did his tour dates look like before then? How exhausted was he? Like, there's got to be a point where you're like, this is a lot of work, right? And to be hitting those notes, like what songs that he had done before he got to this point? Darn cold. So I always wonder about that, and I don't want to say struggled because, listen, he does superhuman things that most people can't do. So to say he's struggling is still like better than 95% of the people out there, but I'd be curious to know. So, hey, if you know David Phelps personally, can you please ask him, hey, go on the Josh Murray Reactions channel. I'd love to do an interview with him. I would love to talk to him, ask him questions all about his career and different things and what he's doing. So let's get an interview with David on the podcast, huh? Let's do it together. Guys, if you've been here this long and you're not subscribed, I don't know why. Hit that subscribe button. Other than that, God bless. Have a great rest of your day.